What we learned from Ikoyi building's collapse, ex-Lagos Governor Tinubu. Welcome to the news, and thank you for tuning in to listen. Tinubu described the event as a sad and painful one, decrying the loss of lives, adding that the tragic incident should never have occurred. Now the news in detail. The national leader of All Progressive Congress APC and former Lagos State Governor Bola Tinubu has said that there are many questions to ask about the collapse of a 21-story building on Gerrard Road, Ikoyi, Lagos. The APC chieftain added that despite the collective pain and grief, what he and others should learn from the tragedy was to be clear and focused. Let us use this tragedy to serve as a strong warning and deterrent to end any misconduct that might in any way contribute to such an incident. On Tuesday, the state government announced setting up an independent panel constituting members from Nigeria Institute of Architects (NIA), Nigerian Institute of Town Planners, and Nigeria Society of Engineers and other professional bodies to probe the collapse of a 21-story building on Gerrard Road, Ikoyi. Also, the governor promised that the government will surely find out what went wrong and punish those indicted. He further ordered the suspension of the general manager of Lagos State Building Control Agency, LASPCA, Gbolahan Oki. Reacting to the collapse of the building, Tinubu described the event as a sad and painful one, decrying the loss of lives, adding that the tragic incident should never have occurred. As of Tuesday, about 20 bodies have been recovered from the rubble at the site of a collapsed building. In a commiseration message issued in Lagos on Tuesday, Tinubu said, "I endorse Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's order for an investigation into this tragedy. There are many questions to ask, and all those questions deserve full and public answers. The collapse of a 21-story building in Ikoyi, Lagos is a sad and painful incident. Once more, and all too often, we have suffered the loss of life for no defensible reason. This tragedy should never have occurred. It is obvious that something went terribly wrong. If indeed intentional or reckless wrongdoing has been committed, appropriate censure should find those who have been found to have shirked their fundamental responsibilities. Workers at the site, and for that matter, no one who is trying to work in order to care for their loved ones, should have their lives abbreviated in such a manner. No one should suffer what these people suffered. Families should not have to hear such news and bear such burden. Search and rescue efforts must continue non-stop until they were able to bring out whoever is still trapped in the rubble. As much as we are in collective pain and grief, we must also be clear and focused. Let us use this tragedy to serve as a strong warning and deterrent to end any misconduct that might in any way contribute to such an incident. We must never become numb to the tragedies that befall others. We must work and strive to put an end to those frightening events and the brutal but avoidable deaths that go with them, Tinubu stated. Now, tears and wailings is what is happening in the southwest state of the country, which is Lagos State, Ikoyi, Lagos. I mean, just imagine that, for instance, God forbid, you have somebody who based in Ikoyi, and the person, you don't even know where the person stays in particular. Then you hear such news and you start trying to reach out, and for days you have not been able to reach out. I tell you, you do not even want to know the trauma. You do not want to know the trauma. You do not know. It's just like those people now trapped under there, having their life flash. Their life is going. Like in a flash, it is going, and they cannot do anything about it. That is the most painful part. I mean, such things are never ever supposed to happen. For such 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 before you get to 10, before you get to 15, then 20, then 21. I tell you, the foundations and whatever you're going to need for this particular building to stand tall and make sure it does not fall, your materials must be standard. There should be not even one atom of compromise. That is the truth. There should not be one atom of compromise, because it is going to put people's life in jeopardy. It has not happened does not mean it will happen. Nobody knew that this particular would happen. Of course, nobody knows. So these people now, the engineers and the architectural engineers now, when building, they are supposed, no matter, in fact, if the builders tell you that, oh, don't worry, just go ahead, buy substandard product, you say no. Why? Because the blood of these people will definitely haunt you for the rest of your life. It will haunt you. Yes, you may not have carried gun, but the simple act of maybe greed or negligence now, it's going to cost a lot. It will cost a lot, and a lot indeed. I tell you, this particular issue is not even in any way. Is not in any way, should not have happened. Sincerely, it should not. Now, it is going to, yes, it should serve as a deterrent warning now, according to Bola Ahmed Tinubu now. It should serve as a deterrent worry to those who are building. Not even one, not even two, not even three, not even four. This kind of a thing. I mean, you're supposed to be there. The engineer is supposed to be there overseeing things. Why? This is a very, very peculiar place to live. Peculiar because, number one, it is not just one. It is not just one house. There is it two houses. You have a tendency of oh my gosh. You have the tendency to avert whatever future crime now, future harm, as the engineer of that building. You make sure you work on it. Even if the person comes and tell you, oh, don't worry, use substandard progress, nobody will know, my dear. Run for your life, oh. Run for your life. Tell the people, if possible, tell those involved now that they want you to do such a thing, tell them that you are not. Tell them that you will not. It is better for you to say, oh, you saved life, than you put food in your stomach and people are wailing on a daily basis. So at the end of this now, it should serve as a deterrent. And of course, yes, they said they are going to sanction those involved. But the thing is, it has happened, it has happened. People can never forget. People can never. It can never be forgotten in a haste.